A try scored by big number 2, Joe Tavate. England a couple chances offensively. Being patient over the last 10 or so minutes. Carried down there for Oscar Lennon and worked back. This time to Max Lehman. That ball's loose. Picked up nicely by Lance Williams, the flanker. And Williams trying to break free through that line as he's wrestled down. Still in possession here for California.
Okay, roll.
Christian Poidevin.
No, it's over there.
A 2025 San Diego Legion Player of the Season last year. And a former MLR champ with the Giltinis back in 2021. A son of Wallabies legend and 1991 RWC winning captain Simon Poidevin. Kobe Milne will put total out there once again. So nearly 20 minutes gone, Mike. We just saw our first try. From where we started to where we are now, what's changed here?
The whole tempo has changed in favor of California, and I think a lot of it has to do with a deflated New England team for not going for those points very early on. I'm going to keep coming back to it.
Hydration break here for our players on the pitch. We'll be back with you after a short commercial.
Comes in a little bit after it started rolling. I can't stop that, but
the MLR fan cam is alive and well. We've got people online interacting as well. West Coast, Best Coast. Well, I don't know about that. Both native New Yorkers now. You're more native than I am. I'm born in Chicago, but East Coasters, we might have something to say about that.
With all due respect, no thanks. Nope.
I wouldn't hate to be in the warm weather all the time, but there's something about the gritty East Coast that makes it so great. But I also agree it's great to visit the West Coast.
I agree. It's a nice place to visit.
You spent a number of years in California too.
Yeah, it's a good spot. It is really it's a beautiful part of the world. Some amazing people there. But when we talk about Best Coast, I think there's only one that we know is the Best Coast. And again, respectfully to all of our Californians out there.
Butch himself. There goes Gonzalo Bertrand trying to break through the line. We saw a similar play last week against Anthem, and California came up short, but Stephen Hoyles feels like those are the types of conversions that we can make. Here's Bertrand once again. The Argentinian trying to make hay off to Billy Meeks.
Good steal.
Wants to go quickly.
Don't get a roll. Don't get a roll.
And New England wins the possession back off the tackle. Gonzalo, by the way, like Argentine, over 1,200 passes, the most in the league, and by some distance. Second was Seattle's J.P. Smith, who threw 842 last year. That's 407 fewer than Bertrand. This guy wants the ball and facilitates like none other. And Mike, you were a 9 for most of your career, yes? So what's that role like when it comes to being able to be that facilitator and also scorer at times?
Yeah, and I just have to say, he's so much fun to watch. He brings such flair to the game, and that's why he's such a dynamic and exciting player. And you know, that's what they're trying to bring by adding him into the mix. I mean, he's got so much experience in playing for Argentina. They're trying to just push the tempo of the game. And what their head coach said, Stephen Hoyles, was everyone else has to just catch up to him. And you can see he's just constantly pushing tempo. He controls the pace of their play, and that's exactly what they're getting out of him at their playmaker position.
How about the forwards getting up right now to try to carry, to gain a little bit more position here for California. There's Meeks from the outside, working towards the backs. That's Cole Semu, drafted 28th overall in the 2024 MLR draft. Played his collegiate ball at BYU. Was drafted by the Utah Warriors. And now with this new addition, MLR, especially with respect to the California Legion, there's a lot of different players that needed new homes for the 2026 season. And they found them. A lot of the being such an impactful piece. Talked about the number 9 being a great facilitator. Number 10 really stirs the drink. Nice little run by Ryan James, just trying to charge through. He could be crafty with the ball, according to Stephen Hoyles. Dave Dennis, the assistant. Those guys, in their first season together with LA in 2021, they brought home that championship.
Leave it now, you've lost your feet, leave it, White.
And trying to bring that winning pedigree back to California and take away a championship from the East Coast. They can make a great first impression with winning the Supporters Cup here today. Working around the outside, nicely done and pass. That's Joey Mano on the run. Gets the one more scoop to Kobe Milne. He's wrestled down about 10 meters out. What a run on the outside, but New England gains it back.
And that was absolute class from California. It was the pump fake that drew that defensive line up, and then they went straight over the top of it into that outside channel. They just couldn't get support players there in time, and they were tracked down by New England. That's one thing that New England has always been able to rest their hat on, is that they will track you down, they will hunt you, and that's why they have won so many titles in this league, because they are relentless in defense, and as you know, defense wins championships.
It sure has for New England over the last few years. Picked up off the hop there by Mitch Wilson.
Okay, wait, hands off, hands off, hands off. Off feet, hold here.
So on that last sequence, Mike, to those who may not be privy to what that call was and why the turnover happened, can you enlighten the folks at home?
Yeah, so that California made that big break down the sideline. When you go into those collisions and contact situations, you have to release the ball. As you heard our referee Scott Green say, you get one movement. Generally speaking, your movement is backwards towards your own team, but then it becomes a free ball. So New England in that situation, they had numbers on scene. They have a right to try to steal the ball. They had their hands on it. California wasn't there in time. Turnover towards New England, so they get awarded the penalty.
That's number 6 just going off his feet into the rock, yeah? And some effort to stay on feet.
Some of the New England Free Jacks.
Yeah, that one is clear that he could do better there, okay?
Ryan Martin there on the left. It's a stosh, not stash, that's for sure.
And that's Rugby Canada legend there, Josh Larson on the right-hand side, former captain of this New England Free Jack side now, enters their coach's booth. So different role for him for sure, but quite a career he's had.
Meeks trying to work through. New England lost their first 3 matches of the year last season.
They have that bend, don't break
before taking over. Bertrand now plops this one inside the 5, and a free kick coming.
Good defense by New England, just taking away all those options, forcing Bertrand to put that kick over the top, and a good take that time by New England. But one thing I will say, in conversations with the California Legion coach, with Steve Hoyles, throughout the week, he said that we weren't good enough at the breakdown at ruck time in their loss to Anthem last week. They weren't efficient, they weren't effective. And what I've seen so far out of this Legion offense is that they're finding seams. They're making the first defender miss very often. And what that's doing is it's allowing them to have really quick ball, and that's putting New England under pressure. But again, this New England defense, they scramble so well. They have that bend, don't break sort of policy. And so far, with the exception of that one maul, California's had a lot of possession recently, but not a lot to show for it.
It really was a frenetic start for them, and we haven't seen a ton of possession past the halfway line for this New England team. High in the air for Lance Williams. What a push by Legion into the 22-meter. Find themselves in the red zone once again. Somebody's got to be around. How about Big Joe? Tafate plays it down for Kenzo, number 4 in red. Bertrand sweeps inside to Kobe Milne. Milne picks it up. Look what I found. It's a try.
No, went backwards by White.
He's new to MLR, but not new to scoring. The former Western Force fly half, Kobe Milne, doing work and getting California to extend their lead.
And I'm eating my own words here, because just moments ago I said they had nothing to show for it, but here they are, dotting down. And again, great work up front by the forwards. Good flick on there, good continuity from California. But again, look at the efficiency in the breakdown. And then again, good pump fakes from Bertrand, finding support runners. And then what an extension that time from Kobe Milne, just reaching over the line. Great line that he takes off Bertrand. And there's that call in question as to whether or not that was forward. So the ball gets bounced around on the ground, opportunistically picked up and driven through, and another 7 for California on the board.
How about Kobe Milne getting the fans fired up here at Torero Stadium? Love to see it. Great views, beautiful weather, and their home team showing out. Kobe Milne converts as well on his own try with the extra 2 points, and California off and running against the defending champs. I'm going to try to improve that. Ed Timpson, number 8 in red, first time we've called his name.
White, red, white.
The 2025 LA Forward of the Year last season.
White, come up the space. White, get up.
Played with his teammate Ben Sugars.
Timing's good.
One of the reserves here today in this lineup. See what New England could do with less than 12 minutes to go.
No, leave it.
Joey, at this point, New England just needs the ball. They literally haven't seen possession. I mean, since that first drive that they had in the opening 10 minutes, I think, they have just been starved of possession. And they've only ever had it in their backfield like this. They just keep kicking it back to California. I know Coach Ryan Martin said kicking's a big part of their game, but they have to play with the ball a little bit more, especially to climb out of this 14-0 hole right now.
White.
Flipped high in the air, nicely done. That ball, not exactly in the right spot, but it doesn't matter. California gets it back. Ryan James, he's got just such an explosive first step. Bertrand to Billy Meeks. He's wrestled down. Kenzo Nasogenge also in there. Timpson tripped.
No hands. Tackle.
10 meters ahead of that halfway line. Make Mute, number 1 in red. This forwarding group for California has been a force. There's Lance Williams, 6. He works down along that sideline. And even more pressure from California. 10 minutes to go in this first half. And they're trying to make the bleeding worse as they work through to try to line break. That's Kobe Milne once again.
No
Off to
effect.
Billy Meeks, so 35-year-old twisted down.
Wait. Use it now. Tackle!
Bertrand wants to go fast, and
Stay here.
Stephen Hoyle has told us that we'd love to just keep him in 4th gear. Sometimes he wants to crank it up to 5th gear every single play. Want him to be consistent in that way, but when you've got as much experience as he does, love having him on your squad, just be the party starter for this group. Ryan James wrestling down, Bertrand just trying to get a handle on it. So many bodies.
A good counter rock.
Table topping. This will stay with California.
Knock on the ground, scrum down white ball.
And in that mess of a situation there, the call is a knock-on against California.
Okay.
They found themselves going side to side quite a bit on attack. So good defensive stand there from New England. But California there, I think they just needed to drop into the pocket and kick a little bit there.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Who's excited for the MLR Championship final in Chicago? I will be returning from my hometown. Pre-sale coming soon. Remember, you can interact with us, hashtag MLR 2026 on X. Make sure to join the conversation, but so pumped to have the championship in Chicago. Last year, New England essentially played a home match, playing in Rhode Island for the championship final against Houston. Played forward, and that finds touch. Back to California.
New England goes with that swing pass into the outside channels, and they have that run kick option. And that time they choose the kick option again around midfield, but it goes directly out of bounds. So California will retain possession from the spot of the kick, and they'll get a line out. So another good attacking platform for California. Again, they've enjoyed all the possession and all the territory so far outside of those opening minutes of play, where New England looked like they were firing on all cylinders, and since then have been very, very quiet.
Up to Dom, the captain. Meeks. Boydevin carrying through, churning the legs. Joey Mano was wrestling somebody in that pile. Ed Timpson works forward again. Number 8, such a pivotal role just to be an enforcer. Trying to find more scoring here in this first half. New England has been jarred, to say the least, to start this after we thought this is going to be a really solid New England start once again. They've, despite the roster turnover, have come out ablazing, but they were not able to convert.
You've crawled into the ball, slowing it down. You've got to get out the ruck the other way.
Mike talked about it earlier. Maybe they had a chance to get 3 points on the board just to see the ball go through the uprights instead of on the ground, just to give your team some confidence early, and that didn't happen. And California just seems to have taken advantage this half.
They really have, and I can understand the first decision that was made from New England. You had that opportunity very early on, but you had all the momentum, all the ascendancy. You try to punch California in the mouth right away. Just take the crowd out of it. Give yourself some confidence a couple minutes in. But the second time, you have to take those 3 points. You have to take those points when they're on offer. And I think you play a very different tune then if all of a sudden New England's up 3-0 early in this game.
There are 8 penalties currently against New England.
Ball's over.
Playing entirely too disciplined at the moment. And Ryan Martin told us that coming from a group that handled themselves especially well in the playoffs, they haven't lost one yet.
He's brought him there.
That's where discipline comes in. Maybe it's a little bit of early season jitters. You guys are getting yourself into some chemistry as well. As Legion are trying to work forward. Well, in the red zone, they were only able to convert on 5 of their chances last week at 13. As a matter of just getting possession against Anthem and then converting. This week looks entirely different for Jason Dom's squad. Work through for Kenzo, hangs onto that ball.
Entry number 12. Come on.
Bertrand wants a quick start, and he won't get it.
Sure. Yeah, no,
68 caps for Argentina. for Gonzalo Bertrand, the MLR back of the year for LA.
Penalties for your team. Any more, someone will go. Cool. Okay, talk to them.
And Mike Lawrenson also noticing that the penalties are a premium right now.
Sorry, thank you. This is just looking for the mark. Thank you. You're on the mark. Thanks, Lance. And Mark's over here. Joe, you ready to go? Yep.
You mentioned that penalty count. Up at 9 now, I think, because you had said it was 8, so this will be 9.
Yeah,
California is just going to steady the ship here and take some points on offer, which I think is the right call. But generally speaking, your benchmark by the end of the game is keep yourselves under 10 penalties per game. If you can keep yourself and limit it to 10 penalties within a game, you've done a pretty good job. You're pushing the envelope a little bit, you're testing the waters with the referee, but you're maintaining your discipline. And right now, we're still in the first half, and New England's already got 9. That's not a very good indication of what's to come for them.
Yeah, not a recipe for where you want to win. The thumbs up here for the Legion fans. There's your 3. How about California? The fan cam going nuts. That's the Legion right there. Those real swords, you're allowed to bring those in, Mike?
The Legion faithful. I think what we should do in this game at halftime is we should have had some of the Free Jacks fans who have very similar sort of costumes and what they do. Those like very patriotic, old-time American outfits against some of the Legion, and have them do something at halftime.
Some serious melee.
Yes, that would have been worth its ticket price itself just to have seen that.
Some wooden clubs and some plastic swords.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
We need a good battle of the historical times, right?
Right.
Forged in fire. Trying to play that one down off the kick was Killian Coughlin, and it's collected by the other third team, Cole Semu.
Red, stay here, Red, stay, Billy.
Kobe Milne skies this one high in the air, nearly to the 22. There's Joel Hodgson. Haven't said his name in a while because, well, frankly, New England hasn't been able to play forward. Ryan James and company have done really well to keep tabbing on points. It's a 17-0 lead here in the first half against the three-peat champs. Nice one-handed catch. Working on the outside, on the lower sideline was Rory Van Voot. Lost the handle, but Mike Lawrenson blows the whistle.
And what's really worked well on attack so far for California has been those dummy passes, those pump fakes that just draw New England defenders forward and then throw in behind them. So you can see that the energy is there for New England on defense. They want to come up, they want to make hits, but they're just a little bit too anxious. They're running past the ball. And when you run past the ball against good, smart players, that's how you get beat. And California's finding opportunities to go over them and go behind them so far for a couple big breaks.
Do you want to overuse the dummy? Is that something that your opponent could pick up pretty quickly?
Yeah, it definitely could be overused, and people get reputations for throwing dummies more often than not.
Really?
But if you're New England right now, you've just got to tell yourselves, hey fellas, we've just got to lock in our seats. Don't fall for these dummies. If someone's got the ball, you just lay in on the ball carrier. You do not worry about the pass. Someone will come and scramble and help you out. But do not fall for those dummies, and do not overrun the ball on defense. That's got to be something they talk about in their locker room in a few minutes.
Oscar Lennon sets the ball down there in the scrum.
Overextended.
Legion wins it back off the penalty.
Overextend on that side. Yeah. You guys were all right, but overextend on that side first, yeah? Okay. I'll look for it.
And the penalty there goes against New England at scrum time, and just those penalty woes entering every aspect of their play, whether it's at breakdowns, whether it's at set piece. New England right now is just falling apart at the seams as far as discipline goes. And California, if they can capitalize here, they will really take the wind out of the sails of this New England side.
Tough to throw in.
Yes, good.
Number 2, the hooker. Kenzo, you see big number 4, just trying to will his group, pulling anybody's shirt. Trying to muster some strength forward. Bertrand's got his hands in there. A little bit of a fake out there. Lance Williams tumbles, or Ryan James rather, tumbles down.
Number 1, changing bind. Number 1, Joe.
Was that Kyle Sakara?
There's just too many penalties from your team.
Guilty party? That's going to be a yellow card.
Yeah,
Kyle Sakara and his beautiful mane awarded the yellow card.
And we mentioned that Sakara, as he trots off, is the face of the organization and the franchise. You go on their social media page, you'll see lots of Kyle Sakara, and rightly so. But on the wrong end of it there, I mean, just too many penalties against New England. They were warned by the referee.
Final 30, encroaching on that 5-meter line. California, unexpectedly perhaps to some, a 17-0 lead here in the first half, trying to make it 24, and they do. They extend their lead with another try and some extracurricular. I would not want to mess
Back up.
with Samise Kofe. I don't want to mess with any of these guys. But I guess when you're that big, you're not afraid of a little rough and tumble. But California, a 22-0 lead, trying to make it 24, Mike.
And what a statement from California. I mean, you look at the tail of this entire first half. Under immense pressure very early on, right out of the gates, New England looked like they were, again, firing on all cylinders. They were looking red hot, and this has been all California, but let's listen in.
I do want to have a look, because I've actually got number 3 who's reacted to something on the ground.
Okay.
I have seen the action of number 6 as well. So right now I've got 3 red and 6 red, but he clearly has reacted to something. I think we should have a look.
Okay, let's take a look.
So now you think about where this lies in the context of the game. You got 2 seconds here in normal circumstances, right? What does this indicate for where we're going to flow?
If there's a
for
team
the rest of
challenge
this
after
half?
that, we can look at that too.
If there's any other penalties. And I don't mean to keep interrupting Mike Lawrence.
They're gonna take a look here for some foul play off the ball. So the try will stand, surely. I don't think the try is in question here. I think what they're looking at is all of those antics afterwards to see if there's any disciplinary jurisdiction that needs to be handed out to send people off the field, because right now, you know, Kyle Sakara's out, so New England's playing shorthanded with one less forward in their pack. And now you just find out whether or not California's going to do the same, and there it is. That's what they're looking at.
Okay, so I just have some pushing and shoving from number 3, but clearly I have no 6 that started it.
Yeah, I think what started is someone's patting someone's head on the
Yes, it's number 6.
Number 6?
Yes.
Yeah, and then number 3 just pulls the player away, so no problems there.
Okay. Good. Can we have a look at what the challenge is?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now we're going to look at the team challenge, please. Did you get that? It's 39-55.
Strike involving
Number 3.
3 on 7.
39-55, 3 red. It's going to be before that.
Hey, there was something on his face. He was just trying to get it off. He had a fly on his nose.
It's before that. Yeah, right here, please. Okay, I have no strike from number 3. I definitely pulled him out of the ruck, but I have no strike.
Yeah, he's just holding the jersey.
Yep, just pulling him out. Go back just 2 seconds, please. Go again.
As you can tell, just trying to determine who's at fault,
No clear
when,
evidence. Yep. So.
and how the challenge will be
I have a decision.
awarded or not.
Yep. After a referee initiated review, number 6 did rub the head of the player after the try scored, which started a scuffle. It's going to be a yellow card for number 6. Then number 3, it was a team challenge by New England. And after review, there was no foul play, just a little scuffle. So New England loses their challenge. The try is awarded. However, number 6 is going to get a yellow card. Yep, New England loses
So
both
Lance
challenges.
Williams awarded the yellow card. We'll loop in Scott Green as well to see how that all transpired, what comes from it. Scott, thanks for popping in again. What did you see there?
Yeah, lots to unpack for the match official team in that one. So, look, there was a clear try. Try stood, and then after the try, the boys stood up and decided they wanted to test out the strength of the rugby jerseys and have a bit of a pull on each other. So, what Mike has said there, the referee has said that number 6 from San Diego was the instigator of this whole kerfuffle, and 3 red was just reacting and not retaliating. So that's the difference, and that's why he decided to yellow card red 6 for the starting the whole melee.
I'm sure that back in the day, Scott, you saw Mike Petrie do a few different things like that, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw Mike at a tackle once, and I just told him he was lost, and I sent him on his way.
Come on, Scott. That was your opportunity to do the right thing there. Come on. How are you going to sell me out like that? But there he is sitting on the side. Just poor sportsmanship there. Totally uncalled for. And that'll earn you 10 minutes off the field for sure. Even if Scott Green were refereeing, he's got 10 minutes off the field. Right, Scott? You don't let him get away with stuff like that.
Okay, no quick. It's a new ball. No quick.
Of course, Mike Petrie, so much rugby experience, and he's well known by referees and fans worldwide. So New England, a final push here. Into the red zone we go. Can the Free Jacks find some semblance of positivity here towards the end of this first half? Very similar to how we started the matchup, but they weren't able to come away with any points. Both teams have somebody in the sin bin. Defenders hanging out there. Here's Hamopa. Oscar Lennon works back, number 9 for this group. New England trying to find themselves into position to go score again. They're working very efficiently with Joe Johnston, the New Zealander, known as the Mechanic. Nuafi played down. Just find something here if you're New England. Von Donaldson as well. So much of this group is new to wearing the Free Jacks uniform. And they get their first try of the season. Came over from the URC to the MLR, and he gets his first try as a pro in the States.
And New England needed that one. I mean, 2 minutes over halftime into injury time in this half. And they started the half with possession. They walked away with no points. They end the half with possession, and they get themselves a try. But listening to in here, it sounds like maybe California wants to challenge us. I'm not entirely sure what they want to challenge as we take another look at it. There it is. I think that, I'm not sure what they would want to challenge there. That looks pretty clear as day to me that one's in. Maybe just a bit of frustration from California to give up that try so late in the half. But nonetheless, Hodgson will line this one up off the tee.
Joel Hodgson lines it up, fires it through.
So it's 2 phases before the try.
And if you fail to come away with a successful challenge, you lose that ability to challenge.
The only thing they may be talking about is maybe that fumble, if you will, or the knock-on in contact. But again, it has to be within 2 phases. You heard our referee. So here we go into halftime, 24-5. Not a bad scoreline for California fans.
Yeah, Hodgson was actually off on that extra point. Beg your pardon. That is how we end. What a 40 minutes for California. Coming out the gates with the Supporters Cup on the line. The old mate could be joining the Legion. Step away for halftime.
It's a really obvious partnership between Free Jacks and Gentle Giant. Any of my teammates who have worked at Gentle Giant, they've come back with good stories, good way to stay fit, and always say it's the best way to spend the summer.
Flexible schedule allows me to work and train.
The beauty is it's such teamwork, it's long days, they work hard together and they play well together, and it's a great transition from rugby into the moving industry.
Since the dawn of time, man has been plagued by itch and irritation from not wiping fully clean because he was relying on the dry stuff to wipe. Yikes. But what man didn't realize is that wetter cleans better. Behold, wet extra large dude wipes. See how wet dude wipes completely clears while dry TP smears, leaving debris behind on Uranus. Ditch the itch and switch to wet extra large dude wipes for the best clean, pants down.
Here's to the nights. You know the ones. The nights that ended too fast, but would last a lifetime. The nights when legends were born. And tone deaf never sounded so good. Here's to the nights you were lucky. And the friends you're lucky to have. These are the nights that connect us. The nights worth celebrating. The Mass State Lottery. Celebrate the night.
We're trying to build a place where we can call home, where the Portland Rugby Club can say, this is our home, this is our community. We're in the process of building a youth program. We want our kids that aren't even born yet to be running around on this field. That's the important part for us. People have really stepped up, and we're really thankful for all of our donors, like Koa Labs and the Free Jacks. This is what rugby can be for a club. If you don't dream it, it never happens, and this has been a dream forever, and it's happening.
No flight is just a flight. It's a new beginning.
Hi, nice to meet you.
A love story.
Relentlessly into the present. That's what's inside every bottle of Corona. So no matter where your journey takes you, with just a squeeze of lime, the beach is always closer than you think. Corona, La Playa awaits.
Success is a team sport, on the field and in drug discovery. At Alloy Therapeutics, teamwork isn't just a philosophy, it's how we operate. For nearly a decade, we've worked with top pharma and biotech partners around the globe to improve the way medicines are discovered and developed. That's why we're proud to sponsor the New England Free Jacks, a team built on talent, teamwork, and trust. Because whether you're chasing a championship or a breakthrough therapy, together is how we win.
Since the dawn of time, man has been plagued by itch and irritation from not wiping fully clean because he was relying on the dry stuff to wipe. Yikes. But what man didn't realize is that wetter cleans better. Behold, wet extra large dude wipes. See how wet dude wipes completely clears while dry TP smears, leaving debris behind on Uranus. Ditch the itch and switch to wet extra large dude wipes for the best clean, hands down.
And New England has its masterpiece. The Free Jacks have won their third consecutive MLR championship. They are the first pro sports team to do it in 23 years.
Today, the MLR rolled on. It was an incredible finish for Chicago in their first match of the season against the previously undefeated Anthem Rugby Club. Haven't been able to say that for their sake in a long time, but some serious concussive rugby happening here today. With Anthem actually losing. It was a 33-19 win for Chicago. Great way to start the season for the Hounds.
Great way to start the season for the Hounds. They've got a great lineup. They're expecting big things out of the big city of Chicago. You know all about how important the sports leagues are in Chicago and how much they love their sports teams. But Anthem Rugby humbled a little bit in week 2, unfortunately running into a very strong Chicago Hounds side.
Next week, well, you know who the teams are every single week with 6 teams in this league. How about 2 American-born teams, New England and Old Glory DC, doing battle with New England at home. Anthem gets the home slate against Seattle, and Sunday Night Rugby, the premier show for this season. We are so pumped up to bring you that, and we got a banger. Depending on how this one goes, California could get their first win against Chicago, who impressed today.
Yeah, and that's the big one. As you mentioned, the unveiling of the ESPN Sunday Night Rugby. It'll be a good show. There's some great people involved in it. Everybody around the league is excited about it. That's going to be one to put on your calendar for next Sunday night.
Cannot wait for Will Hooley, Claudia Bellafato, the rest of the crew, Ben Holden, and Bree Kim will be on the call. What a blast you're going to have. It's been a wonderful day at Torero Stadium. A beautiful one at that as well for some rugby. The formerly San Diego Legion, now California Legion, doing work in front of their home crowd. Second half on the way back.
He scores! Rebound Hatton. He scores! Piercy, see you later! Welcome to Worcester!
Well, my nickname is Lightning because I'm with the fast at the track. I will never slow down on the track. That's what being brave in the attempt is about. That's what being a true Special Olympic champion is about. That's what I'm here to do. People, they don't have to stay in the shadows anymore. Arbella is a proud supporter of Special Olympics Massachusetts and athletes like me. Arbella, here for inclusion, here for good.
It's about time for a different take on medicine. Because medicine can mean lots of things. For us, medicine is personalized, connected care. Accessible, accommodating, preventative, and proactive. Across our entire community, we are reimagining medicine and evolving healthcare. 15,000 care professionals with that mission. Because it's not just medicine, it's Tufts medicine.
Modelo tastes good, but that just finished working a double Modelo. That spent 10 hours on a full set of braids Modelo. That yard work's done Modelo. That family grind paid off Modelo. Or that finally off your feet Modelo. That Modelo you earned is just better. That Modelo is the mark of a fighter.
Here's to the nights. You know the ones. The nights that ended too fast, but will last a lifetime. The nights when legends were born. And tone deaf never sounded so good. Here's to the nights you were lucky. And the friends you're lucky to have. These are the nights that connect us. The nights worth celebrating. The Mass State Lottery. Celebrate the night.
Welcome back to Torero Stadium alongside Mike Petrie, Joey Lindstrom. Thank you for being with us here today. A wonderful day in California for some rugby. The return of California Legion, another home match, and a wonderful bout with the New England Free Jacks. 24-5 finish. Mike Lawrenson and the rest of the officials' crew getting set for a pretty charged second half. And you look at the way that the first half transpired with New England really storming out the gates in a very impressionable way to find themselves down at one time 24-0 before finally getting a try before the end of that first half. Mike, it just felt like this group was, they're still trying to find their chemistry. They've only had scrimmages under their belt. This roster is almost brand new, and you find yourself, if you're New England, scrapping to figure out what's going to work, or what do you do? What's the message there from Ryan Martin and company at halftime?
Yeah, I think at halftime, if you're in that New England locker room, you're just sitting there and you're saying, fellas, we got to get some composure to us. We came out of the gates with the right energy and the right intent. We need to continue that throughout the rest of the half. We can't take our foot off the pedal. They showed the intent that they want to play to the corner. They want to play with the ball in hand. They want to score tries. That's great. But let's just hit that reset button a little bit. Let's take points when they're on offer. Let's get the scoreboard ticking over. Let's find our rhythm as a team. Like you said, it's their first real hit out in the league this season. California has the luxury of already having played and learned their lessons by giving Anthem their first win ever in franchise history. So they certainly have a lot to prove to the league right now that they are legit, and certainly a lot to prove to their fan base. So expect, though, that New England will have a big corner to turn, and if anyone can get them on the right track, it's Captain Joe Johnson and their head coach Ryan Martin. But check out this. How about some rugby going on here from these kids?
You love it. This has got to be the local, one of the local rugby clubs. This has got to be so cool for these kids as well. Being able to do this in front of the crowd, the home crowd, for their home team.
Wait, hold on. If I'm Mike Lawrenson, I want that Hawaiian shirt for my next game.
I was going to say,
instead of the yellow.
That guy robbed our colleague Dallin Stanford of his Hawaiian shirt.
Exactly. That's right. It does. Maybe Dallin got. He did the last game. He might be back in California by now.
Well, yeah. Dallin's a San Diego native. This guy probably raided his closet.
That's right. That's right.
Incredible. I love it. This is especially with the influence of where rugby is right now. How about this? A New England Free Jacks watch party. Thanks for joining the conversation. Hashtag MLR 2026 on X if you want to get involved. Our MLR social team will find you in the best way possible.
Yes, and all due respect to all the Free Jacks people watching from their watch party. I'm a big fan of the Free Jacks. I love what they've done, but you and I both know as we watch this game, that's not what the Free Jacks are capable of. They showed it in a spurt there at the very beginning and a spurt there at the very end, but they've got to sustain it throughout the entire half. And you get a good look there. They have a new maestro there in Joel Hodgson at 10. You haven't called his name a lot because they haven't had possession a lot. He really hasn't had a chance yet to show what he can do, and I think there's a lot of people in New England that are excited to have the ball in his hands more, and also in his hands more. Caleb Geiger, we mentioned big shoes to fill with outgoing Canadian Andrew Quattrin leaving the club along with 13 other, or I should say 12 other Canadians. So a very new look team, and Caleb Geiger is at the heart of it. We need to call his name more on this broadcast in the second half for New England, for sure.
He's on a mission to become an Eagle as well. Always the first in the gym, pushing him to be a world-class forward as this staff. He's well equipped to do so. Joel Hodgson, also a very decorated player.
For clarity, Caleb's on the Eagles, but he's pushing for that starting jersey. He's really trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to make that World Cup roster, and more importantly, he's trying to find a home for himself in New England after Andrew Quattrin stepped away.
I appreciate that clarity, partner.
Yeah, just really more for Caleb's sake than anything else.
Yeah.
More for Caleb's sake. We're trying to give him that credit that he deserves as a player that's worked incredibly hard to learn this game and really made a name for himself.
It's a Concordia U from Sedalia, Colorado. We're underway here in the second half. 40 more minutes to play. And California,
hold in front, hold in front.
A 24-5 lead. And more importantly, a 19-point hole for New England to climb themselves out of. This is Nathan Salmon. Works down. Played on the outside. There's big Caleb Geiger. Oscar Lennon.
No.
And New England trying to impress. It's Piers Van Donaldson. Worked around the outside. That's Higgins once more. Finding Mitch Wilson in the back.
There's a knock on.
And the stoppage from Mike Lawrenson.
We have a team challenge by California. The play's under review.
Challenge for California.
I'm not sure yet.
As we take a moment to head over to this review, bear in mind that both teams are playing with 14 players on the field right now, carrying over from the end of that first half. For New England, Kyle Sequeira had to take a seat thanks to too many penalties against New England, so he's off the field to start for the better part of 10 minutes because it was right near the end of that first half, so probably somewhere in the realm of about 7 to 8 minutes left on his time off. And then Lance Williams, who started that whole melee after the try with unsportsmanlike conduct. So he's sitting right now for California as well.
After review, the challenge is outside of protocol of the review system. California loses a challenge and will continue with the scrum.
Okay, so if you find yourself needing a challenge, California, if you're California, Scott Green, you can't do that any longer. What transpired there?
We have some subs going on.
Because it seems like a knock-on's in protocol. Maybe not.
3-2 wide off.
So
3 and 2.
Mike, I'm sure your wheels are also turning on why that would have been out of protocol.
So this is also very new for a lot of us, and so I think Scott Green is in the same boat right now, trying to wrap our heads around exactly what's going on here. But I think, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, it has to be within 2 phases of the end of the play in order for you to go back and challenge it. Is that correct, Scott?
Okay, happy to come in if you need me, mate.
Okay, time is on.
We'll try to get Scott back in if we can, but if not, I do believe that it has to be within 2 phases. And we'll go back to Scott now.
Yeah, hey, Mikey, yeah, you did right, mate. Within 2 phases is your challenge. Or knock-ons, forward passes, touch the line out, offside, more obstruction, tackle stuff. Foul play goes all the way back to the last restart of play, though. Back to you, mate.
This ball booted forward, back in the possession of the Free Jacks. Thanks for enlightening us there, Scott. That's a point count. What a thump over at the halfway line. It was Piers Van Donaldson, or rather Joe Johnston, number 7 in white, giving the business there to Mill. Played down, that's Ed Timpson. And outside to Ryan James. Ryan James tried the dummy. He gets thrown down, but it's still in possession here for the Legion. Something that we saw with Billy Meeks as he takes the tumble off the great form tackle there by Malu Nuafe.
No clear release. You got a clear release. Yeah, you got one end underneath. You got to show me a clear release.
And that is just a silly penalty there by New England. I mean, really, one of the comments I was waiting to make was that they've just come out a little bit too loose after halftime. I mean, one of the comments that has to have been made in their locker room was, fellas, we need to just be more intentional. We need to be simple, get back to the basics, be very direct. They come out of the gates, they're throwing the ball around, they're knocking it on, they're spilling it in contact, and then they're giving away penalties in midfield where you just do something well, you come up, you make a big hit, you drive the ball carrier backwards, you know that California's got to drop in the pocket and kick it to you, and then you give away a penalty. I did just not good enough right now from New England in the first opening minutes of the second half, as far as just, again, being a little bit too loose around the ball.
So territory advantage play. Now we're in the 22-meter line. Into the red zone we go here for California. Legion in their second home game in a row to start the season.
That's once.
2 out of the 5. This is the only one being played in San Diego.
Okay, use it now, Red. Use it.
Still being played forward. Tafate had it. Back to Meeks. Meeks played forward and bumping in there is Cole Semu to Ryan James. That got rattled off. Nice pickup on the run by Ethan McVeigh. He's battling with Oscar Lennon for that fly half position, and Ethan McVeigh is getting involved everywhere on the pitch.
Option, Jason. Scrum over here. You want to scrum more?
And that ball is going to run out the back of the end zone as we take a moment here to catch our breath. But again, those end zones in Torero are very short. And so that ball just drives out the back. It'll come back to the location of the kick.
So you need to get twisted, you all right?
And so when you're in a hole 24-5, it's an interesting change to have made. But like you said, he seems to have brought energy on so far because he knows he's fighting for that number 9 jersey to start in this team.
It's going to be an ongoing battle throughout the year, especially for that big facilitator role that we talked about. It's also one of your biggest offensive leaders.
Don't step out, okay?
So we'll see what Ethan McVeigh has to say about his play today.
He's one of a few changes that New England has made, so they're going into their bench very early, by all accounts. I mean, at halftime to make a number of substitutions like that is not totally unheard of, but is a little bit unusual. But, you know, when you're down by 19 points, sometimes you just got to roll the dice and see what happens. Bring in some fresh legs, some fresh perspective, and try to reinvigorate this team because they certainly need it right now.
Yeah, find that eject button, hit it a few times, get some folks out there. Try to light a fire, and you might be able to change the course of this game.
No contest.
Over top. Up here from the Legion. McVeigh's looking for the ball. Slips out to Higgins, who had the try earlier there to finish out the first half. Works down to Nathan Salmon. Swimming upstream ahead of the 5-meter.
Push back, Red.
Muscling forward on that tackle. Can't hold that ball up. It's Ollie Aylmer and California. A rocket start after holding up and holding the line. That trickles down all the way to the opposite end, about 10 meters away from the end zone.
Never got the ball. Never got the ball.
A frenetic pace here from California off that defensive possession. New England
over so close to your line and it ends up in the opposition kicker's hands, you are retreating, and you are retreating quickly downfield to try to gather that ball back.
You see, not quite a full line change there for California as it was for New England.
Okay.
And you're so right. This game can change in an instant. In the Seattle game and in the Chicago game, in their respective wins. Saw a couple of line breaks that were epic.
Leave it now, Red. Leave it. Last feet. Last feet. No. Okay, use it. Stay here, please. Stay here.
What do you think? Bertrand into the red zone. Off to Poitevin. Poitevin found some room. Bertrand on the outside. California has some numbers here. It was Leany there for a second. And Kobe Milne is wrestled down as well. Can California find that pace that they so want with Billy Meeks, their leader, back in the lineup? And last week they just seemed despondent at times. Today they've been clinical.
They have been. And how about the playmakers just now? Both of them, the 9 and the 10 for California. The first one by Bertrand, again, throwing that dummy pass, just biting and baiting, I should say, baiting that New England defense forward and then ducking in behind him, making the big break, finding his support runner. And then how about the hands from the number 10? But here's a look at Billy Meeks just sidestepping and dancing his way into space. And Bertrand just trying to dig that ball out as quickly as they can, but New England all over it. So we're coming back to a knock-on against New England. Well, yeah, just checking on well-being of some people on the field, so everyone's all right. We're ready to continue. As Jason Dahm has a word with our referee, but good attacking platform right now from San Diego, and they've earned it through that run from Bertrand. Just again baiting New England forward, finding the gap, and then the skills that time, that hands, that pass to the outside from their number 10. I mean, Kobe Milne just flung that ball out under immense pressure. Nothing came of it, but I mean, just showing what his skill set is. And again, you mentioned he's got Super Rugby experience, and he had it on full display just there.
All 6 of us,
minutes
hold
into
some
the
space
second
between
half.
us, please. Yeah, all 6 of us, hold some space before the set. Let's go again. You guys are getting too close.
New England
hold your weight.
Was starting to really get some forward momentum on the offensive side before California just held them up and regained a ton of territory. They might find themselves in a spot to make it a 24-point lead once again.
Overextend. Too long.
Yeah, too long in his bind, so wasn't able to hold himself up in the weight of that scrum. And something I would honestly know nothing about, Joey, having played a long time, but would know nothing about what it's like in the front row of that situation, other than the fact that there's a lot of penalties that happen in that area of the game. And that one just not able to get himself latched on across from him. But my goodness, when I look back, that's one part of the game that I'm so happy I was never really involved in, because woof, you talk about intensity and pressure. That's where it all is. That's where it happens up front.
That's a massive humanity. I agree. I don't think I'd want to be caught up in scrum either.
I don't know, with your build, I think you're wearing a 4 or a 5 and playing in the second row, pal.
No
so
way.
I hate to break
60 pounds on
I hate to break it to you.
Put them back on me. How about this? Good push from Legion. We've seen this once before with Joe Tafate. Might we see it again? Where's that ball underneath that pile? It seems like New England feels like they have a chance at it. Still there with Lance Williams. Played forward once more. It's another try for California. Declan Leany scores for the Legion, and the home crowd continuing to be a factor. They got a ton to cheer about today.
They really do, and that's the impact you need to have coming off the bench. You mentioned how beautiful it is in California, and all things are looking as beautiful as ever if you're a California Legion fan, and it starts up front with this maul great effort to produce the ball to the back because it was quite a mess thanks to the Free Jacks defense. The ball's recycled here, and then just a couple of quick picks around the corner. And this one here gets them in and over the line. So really nice job to just crawl forward, keep your legs pumping, stay low, win that height battle, because that's what it's all about when you're so close. Whoever's body is closest to the ground is going to win out.
Kobe Milne remains perfect in the kicking game as well. A 26-point advantage for California leading up to this week. It was, man, you lost to Anthem, who had just got their first MLR win in franchise history. And the Legion have been so impressive today. They might be able, John, to get themselves that old mate and keep it here in California. First, we'll have to take it on the road for the Sunday Night Rugby showdown with Chicago next week.
Leave it red, leave it red. Let it come. There's the ball right there.
When you're playing against the three-peat champs, you're going to bring your best, and Ryan Martin told us that as well. We know we're always going to get the best effort from whoever we play because we've set that standard, even with a pretty new roster. Doesn't matter. The logo is what people fixate on, and they want to be able to say that they beat the Free Jacks when they did.
Yes, and after losing to a team that went winless in 2 seasons in your opening game, a little bit of
extra motivation.
Yeah, you've got a lot to prove. I imagine it's been a long week at the California Legion headquarters. I wouldn't have wanted a minute of practice this week with them. I can tell you that much for sure, because that is not a space you want to be in. But this is definitely a space you want to be in. Back at home as a California franchise in Torero Stadium. I mean, there's so much energy in this space. There's so much great stuff happening around this Legion organization, and this is where it all happens for them. They needed to right the ship, and they've done it today so far with putting 31 points on the board so far.
Stay up.
We got 30 minutes to go.
Touch, everyone's on side, touch.
And after Anthem's late push against Chicago, you wouldn't have said if they didn't make that late push that they had really made that semblance of improvement from week 1 to 2, because it just didn't feel like they were in that game until later when they really made a run at that lead. They ended up losing 33-19.
Lower, please. Upright tackle.
Just completely different sides of the story for California today.
And Joey, I think part of that is just, if you look at the style of play last week versus Anthem and this week versus New England, New England's a team that finally has come out and kicked a lot, and it's won them a lot of games in the past. It's part of the reason why they've won so many championship titles. We talked about their defense being important, but another aspect of it is the strategy that they use in gameplay. California is perennially, on the West Coast, rugby in general, is just meant to be a bit freer. They play a bit more loosely. They play a bit more expansive rugby. They play with the ball in hand a lot, and that can be a bit risky when you roll the dice like that. And so that was something that came up in conversation with head coach Steve Hoyles, and he said, look, we have to add some elements of our kicking game and do it well and intentionally, and they've done that today, and they've put New England under pressure in the right areas of the field, enjoying a lot of territory and a lot of possession in this game so far.
They've really found their groove.
Okay, red in front,
Ethan
stop.
McVeigh
19 red, stop.
let that one fly down in possession for some territory, and Kobe Milne did the same.
Over the shoulder, play on.
A nice little run here around the outside for Jude Latu.
No, he's medal, play on.
Ten ahead of the halfway line. And Ryan Martin and the rest of the coaching staff, James Doyle, and this group trying to find their way back into this deficit as Sione Tupou falls out.
And you mentioned that just trying to fight their way back in, and the new chemistry, the new faces that they have. We talked about the 13 outgoing Canadians in their lineup. But one of the big names we talked about was Andrew Quattrin being one of them. As you look at just, again, uncharacteristic errors in this New England camp right now with that knock-on and spill. That was a perfect pass just in his basket and just drops it forward. But one name that we haven't mentioned yet, and one of the biggest losses that they said they've sustained, was in their midfield with Leroux Milan, their number 12. He was the pulse of this organization. The joke in their team was his kid. That was his offspring because, you know, by all accounts, he loved having him in that lineup. But they are really missing him right now in their midfield for sure. I know Higgins dotted down for him. He's wearing the 12 shirt. But when you lose a guy like Milan in your midfield, that is a really big hole to replace.
And no Ben Lesage as well. Also another area of the focus that when you retain some of that talent, it does wonders for what the group already has as far as cohesion goes, as far as that culture goes.
Stay here, stay.
That'll be that tough Bostonian squad. They have found some adversity here in California. Played forward here with Jason Down.
No, you never got the ball, mate.
Captain of Team USA in the last 5 tests. Last one versus Samoa in September. 15 USA caps for big number 5 in red. Here's James. James trying to throw a stiff arm and break a tackle. Rory Van Voot is there. Bertrand will work it back to Meeks and reversing field. There's the man that scored the try earlier, Declan Laney. Bertrand, 25 carries back in week 1
on
against Anthem. Nice dip forward here from Milne, and New England will return the favor with a huge kick.
Red, stop in front, stop in front.
Trading kicks here, are we? So 31-5, nearly 20 minutes into this second half. If you're New England, what's the state of the union right now for them? Think about where their mindset is at. You're down 26. As folks at home are obviously trying to implore their team to work through and get some points on the board, Mike.
That's right. You just need some energy. Like you're just sitting here feeling sorry for yourself at this point if you're New England, right? You just flew across the country. You're coming off of the high of winning last season for a lot of these people, you know, and you find yourself in a hole 31-5. Like, this is the reality. This is the game. You're going to find yourselves in holes. It's going to happen to you throughout the season. It's about how you respond. And so if you're New England right now, you've got to stop feeling sorry for yourself. You've got to start bringing energy into this game. And what you really need is just, you need the ball. You need the ball. They're not having a lot of possession. They're being starved of it right now from California.
20 white offsides.
Offsides as well. What a tough go for the Free Jacks.
And discipline. I mean, we talked about it in the first half. They have been their own worst enemy time and time again. As we get a look here at this So good block, but offsides. So when I say good block, like it looks nice on TV, but unfortunately, it was offside position, so they get a penalty against them.
Water break.
Found ourselves in the second of 2 hydration breaks. 31-5, our count. We'll take one with them. California, all business here in San Diego this weekend against New England.
Consecutive MLR championship. They are the first pro sports team to do it in 23 years.
We are proud individuals.
The MLR fan cam, everybody's got a reaction. It's been such a fun day here in San Diego. The Legion faithful rocking some serious handlebars. Let's go. Can you grow a mustache?
Not if I tried. And last night I was passing some comments to Rick Hatting for Seattle for his beard. I couldn't grow a beard like that if I spent the rest of my life trying, Joey. But
I couldn't either. I'm baseball as it gets. Just a couple of patches here and there. I don't even want to know what I look like up here. But if you got a sweet stash, rock it. Especially in this sport. Legion still kind of move forward here after the hydration break with Declan Leaney.
Let's use it now.
You ever let the flow come out at all when you were playing?
There were times. There were times. I mean, we tried for a mustache during Movember a few times on USA tours, and never went well. It was never well received by family when I came home. My wife was not a huge fan, to be honest.
No skullet for you?
But no, we never really went that route. Tried to stay clean cut, Joey.
And James laying the boom on the outside. And a little cut in the lip as Bertrano.
Knock on the rock by
He always seems to be communicating something.
He has to.
Barking or otherwise.
That's part of his job. I mean, you would know all about that, right? When you're in that leadership role and everybody's really looking to you. I mean,
last one was good.
He touches the ball more than anyone else in the team, right? He gets more touches per game, and so everyone's going to look to you to be the pulse of what you're doing, especially on attack. And from defense, you're really with the positions to help them get set in the right spaces. And so he's constantly running his mouth in ways that are helping his teammates, and that's just the sign and indication of a really good halfback, and that's exactly what Bertrano is.
I asked you before the game, listen to me, before the game I asked you to take your right foot to the left of the mark, yeah? Get us nice and even.
Mike Lawrence in, getting everybody set.
The ones you have to be wary of, Joey, are the ones that run their mouth to the other team. The good ones are the ones that run their mouth to their own team. The ones that run their mouth to the other team, those guys have a lot to say and usually not a lot to show for it.
Well, the 9 and the 10, so pivotal, especially with ref communication. They're always going to go to the 10.
Wait.
But the 9 has to be, you have to be able to trust that guy, not to get himself into trouble. You can always trust Mike Petrie, that's for sure. How about Legion on the run? Kobe Millen once again. The Aussie doing work in his MLR debuts over the last couple weeks. Still muscling forward. Another try. It's Ben Sugars, and how sweet it is for California.
I see what you did there with Ben Sugars and how sweet it is, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it, and California fans are absolutely loving this. But I'll tell you what, this starts with Bertrand. Look, they are doing such great stuff. The jabs, the pump fakes, the off steps, all that's doing is putting New England off guard. And then they're catching them either backpedaling, catching them running past the ball, or catching them just shifting out of position.
San Diego, if you're a Legion fan, and probably a bad day to be a beer at the stadium. This has been fun.
I like that as well. Yeah, I mean, not a good day for Free Jacks fans. I'm sure you could add to that list. It's not the start that they would hope for from their defending champion franchise, but you know, the redemption in this all is that we're very early in this season, and rest assured this New England side is bound to turn a corner at some point. Just right now, you caught California at the wrong time. Like we said, the back end of handing Anthem their first ever win back home in Torero, Billy Meeks back in the lineup. I mean, everything was going right for California today.
I hope that's not the standard, though, that, you know, if Anthem continues to have success, that whoever loses to Anthem
exactly has to rebound.
Has a really tough week of practice, and then whoever has to play the team lost to Anthem has to prepare like that.
Listen, when you don't win for 2 seasons, you get that reputation. So if you want something different, they have a lot of work to do to change it. But they have, respectfully to them.
Really well.
Respectfully to them, they absolutely have. And hopefully we could see some really good work at Anthem this season. I know that everybody wants to see that.
Let me speak, please. Let me speak, please. It's the two of you, yeah? I need you to bring your hips underneath you, okay? Understood?
Orchestrating the complaints.
Come closer, some more. Yeah, both of you.
A tough spot to be if you're a referee.
I got a question for you as someone who's played a number of other sports. How often did you interact with the referee the way that you see our referees interacting with players on the field like this? And was it
on
similar?
The position that I was playing and what sport. When I was playing football, I was playing QB, so a lot. You know, you're trying to get very similar to the scrum half. Then when I switched to tight end, I was always complaining for something. Ryan James with authority on that hit.
Stolen, play on. No, knock on, play on.
Legion has been so good on all phases.
Did you have a knock on? Oh, here? Okay, touch. Yeah. Red ball knows a knock on into touch, we're going to have a line out. No scrum. Line out. Knock on into touch, line out. No, line out is always a line out in MLR.
Correct. You hear our referee there giving the indication of the rule that exists.
Much lean.
Line out.
A Free Jack possession.
Line out is chosen. Line out.
So now they get the option of a scrum or a line out. In this situation, there are so many subtleties to the rules for sure. So the knock-on that goes out of bounds, knock-ons generally result in a scrum, but that one, when it goes out of bounds, results in a line-out. The throw not straight, the team gets to choose now. Do you want a scrum or a line-out? Me personally, I love lineouts. I've always loved lineouts as an attacking platform. The defensive team has to be back 10 meters, so you get a really good launch from it. I used to love lineouts. I used to love the set-piece plays we had off of them.
And some of those fake-outs as well. How about this? Ben Sugars fresh off his first try of the season. In a California uniform. That got disrupted, but it still finds the awaiting arm.
Knock on by red.
Of Joey Mano. And player cramping down on the ground for the Free Jacks.
Knock on by red. Scrum down, white ball.
Billy Meeks in his return, and you can tell this group is so much better for having him back and in form.
If it happens again, they're going to penalize you, okay? Here's our mark.
That's Nate Sylvia. USA Eagle down, and a hot day in San Diego is 83 degrees at kickoff. Get the electrolytes going. And that is a Boston trainer, if you've ever seen it, with all the numbers around the Boston Celtics logo on the tattoo there. And looks like Sylvia's all right. If you find Waldo in there, we featured him earlier with the stash. There he is.
Give him space to put his head in, okay? Thank you. I've spoken to him. Just give him space.
38-5 our count. It has been all California. Alongside former Eagle Mike Petrie, Joey Lindstrom, entire crew bringing you the action today. Done such a great job. But back for McVeigh. McVeigh a little hezzy. He works through the halfway line. What a tackle by Poitevin. Ryan James thought he had somebody around. Pirouettes and works down in the attacking half here. Big hit on the outside. What a pass. Van Voot back to Bertrand.
Playing advantage offside.
Billy Mix. Poitevin. One more there for Leaney. Back to the Free Jacks we go.
White 13, never onside. Marcus here at the 15.
First, I want to call the attention to the fact that I loved your use of the word pirouette just now. As a dance dad, it makes me so happy.
Keep it on the toes, Mike.
I absolutely love the reference to it. But more importantly than that, again, how about Bertrand on that far side, finding that 2-on-1, isolating a defender, putting his support player into space, and then again, just California supporting the run, supporting the line break, getting all hands on deck, and finding themselves now just a couple meters out from New England's line again. I mean, they have just looked so sharp in so many different aspects of play, and the pulse of it really has been Bertrand pushing that tempo, finding opportunities for them.
So Manu, who was down earlier, he will not be returning.
Chest to back, we have obstruction.
Laid outside the 5-meter, back to the Free Jacks.
Yes, on the 15.
And Latu will be in for Manu.
And so it's not to be for California that time, who obstructs at the line out. So when the ball carrier comes down, teams try to sneak in there, Joey, and they try to sneak a support player in front of the ball carrier to protect them a little bit. And that's kind of what California did, but that's obstruction. You can't do that. The ball carrier has to sort of be in the front of that maul that you're trying to form. And unfortunately, that penalty goes against them.
Don't put him in, leave him there, the ball's there.
A tough break for California.
Okay.
I'd say they're willing to take a couple of tough breaks given the performance they've had today. 10 minutes to go, including some extra injury time. Milne hauls that one in off the punt. Free Jacks wrestling for it, somehow got flipped high in the air from Dom. Chase Jones is in.
Diving on an emerging ball.
And 20 in red came along with Joe Tafate'e from the NOLA Gold a season ago.
Some off, Jets. We have some subs as well.
More substitutions here in the late stages.
Come on.
At the team shrunk down to 6. More chances for rivalries. The Supporters Cup is on the line today. New England trying to still make some positivity come out of this game.
Let go of the ball. White, let go of the ball. No, you got to be inside the field. You can't be in the angle. You can't be in the angle. You got to be out here. Okay. Just letting you know. Okay, push over, please.
And another line out. California on their heels here inside their own 5-meter. They're at Torero Stadium in San Diego. Bertrano played back,
Play on.
tripped up. Briefly, there was Kofi. And kicked out just to regain a little bit of territory and, more importantly, get some breathing room. A couple players down for cramps. So with respect to inevitably meet again. If you know that this team had your number, if you know your opponent had your number, really had your number today, if you're New England, you think about that the next time you go, or do you take this with a grain of salt that this is the first week of your season? They've had 1 week under their belts, given the stakes as well for losing to Anthem. Where do you land on that?
You ever watch what's that TV show? Ted Lasso. You ever watch Ted Lasso?
Of course.
Of course, yep. You need to have the memory of
like
a goldfish. You need to have the memory of a goldfish. You cannot dwell on this. I mean, even in game, you got to be able to move on to the next job. But certainly, I mean, if you're New England, you'll look at some of this in the video room throughout the week. But for the most part, you're going to try to put this one behind you, and you're going to move on to the next job, because you really have to rebound. You have to be resilient. You can't dwell on it. You got to move forward. That's the reason why that rearview mirror is so small, right? You got to be looking at what's in front of you. And so for the Free Jacks, they're going to be looking at their next job. They'll learn from it, like I said, and maybe the next time they see California back home in New England, they'll play with a bit of a chip on their shoulder. They owe them one for sure, but the biggest thing is going to be that they've got to find their own rhythm, and they got to look internally to do that, to be able to actually hand California what they hope to hand them back home in New England.
Somebody's got to be the Jamie Tart then. We'll find out who that is. Legion have been really informed today. Ryan James picks that up off the errant pass. Go back to New England.
By all accounts, Jamie Tart very well might be Nathan Salmon, although I have to say, we have not called his name on this broadcast at all, and that is a shame.
Trying to wrestle forward. Big hit from Poitevin. In good form. McVeigh. Look back there for Sylvia. And pass got away from him. Billy Meeks takes a tumble over top of Hodgson. Two veteran players going at it with their new respective franchises.
Red in front, stop! Five, stop.
More recent for Hodgson than was for Meeks. A return here for Latu.
Backwards by Red, play on, it was backwards by Red.
McVeigh loses the handle, imploring that maybe there was something going on there. It doesn't matter. Here's Steph Crimp on the run. Steph Crimp, the exclamation point for what has been a gorgeous day on the pitch for the Legion.
21.
Wow. I don't think anybody saw this coming. But I do appreciate our referee right now having a word with Steph Crimp and asking him, is that kind of stuff necessary? Just saying, hey, fella, you know, you just came on the field. Let's have none of that. Let's have none of that. But what a score from California, and what a statement. And look at this. I don't even feel bad for Free Jacks fans. I mean, really, truly, like, how could you feel bad for them? They won the past 3 titles.
Yeah.
Nobody's sitting here feeling bad for them. The only thing I said was they're feeling bad for themselves. Right? If you're New England, you're sitting there feeling sorry for yourselves right now, because this is definitely not the start you wanted. But, I mean, geez, what a turnaround for the California Legion after last week.
Yeah, this is a statement for the Legion. And Milne just off. And he's been excellent today as well. Waffle House Rugby Club. Don't overthink it. So go to Waffle House.
Not to make more fish references, because you know we made a few throughout the broadcast, but like, was last week a fluke? Like with With California losing to Anthem, was that a total fluke? I mean, time will tell for sure, but right now, this California team is looking red hot, beating the defending champions.
Okay, use it, Red.
I thought you were going to go with the band reference. I was like, I didn't know you were a Fish fan.
Oh, the band, they are a good band, though. To be fair, they are a very good band, yes.
You're not hanging out for like the 4-day residency?
No, I'm not that big of a fan. I'm not that level. I've heard a bit of their songs, I think, years ago, and I do appreciate some of it. It's very mellow, very, very, we'll say, culture that fits, I think, the lifestyle of people watching from California right now is generally, or New England, if you're out like on the Cape and you're surfing out in Cape Cod or Nantucket or wherever you live out there and you're just enjoying the beach vibes. It's got that sort of mellow rhythm to it.
Our colleague down Stanford he has the outfits for Fish concerts.
That's right. That's right.
And he lives in San Diego, so he's got that show back to him. Will Hooley does like
Can't speak to that, but Down Stanford has shared his wardrobe with all of Torero Stadium, I think, as we mentioned. So, a bunch of Fish fans out there sharing in that enjoyment of this game.
Oh, he's in front of you. Block the tackle.
Keenan Higgins bring the tackle there.
It's over here. Yeah, nowhere near the mark.
So with that, Mike, there's plenty of options for potential player of the game, especially for who you think that might be here today. What would you land on?
Yeah, there's been so many standout performances right now for California. I mean, we'll start with Ryan James has been electric with the ball in hand. Bertrand's been the pulse of it, but I want to give a shout out to this guy right here, Joe Taufete'e. I mean, someone you mentioned, he's coming from NOLA. He was unemployed by all accounts, and he's one of the best hookers in the world. At one point, he was out there with the likes of, like, his name was in line with Keith Wood from Ireland, like the legendary Keith Wood from Irish rugby, and Joe Taufete'e playing for the USA, playing top 14 in France, playing Premiership in England. I mean, he was up there with the best of them, and he's just sitting there without a team in the offseason, and now here he comes, putting in a performance like that today, leading from the front in this California Legion pack. I mean, he's done wonders to get himself the player of the match for today's game, so he has been outstanding by all accounts.
Yeah, he got the party started for this group. One of the heart and soul, we talked about that when things are kind of unraveling for California, he is the bright white smile that everybody looks to for when things go awry. Well, everything's gone right for California today. You can't really point to anything that would be a mistake-ridden phase even. This has been, by all accounts, what would you say? This has been a pretty clean win.
This has been absolutely clinical from California. I mean, from all aspects of the game, they have dominated. They have starved New England of possession. There have been moments of brilliance, don't get me wrong, from New England, but they haven't been able to string it together consistently. And maybe that's an indication of, like you said, first game jitters. California's already had one under their belt. They've had video to review, and here they are playing quick in the 78th minute. I mean, they are just wanting every aspect of playing with the ball today.
Look at this hustle. Right down to the end zone. Finally collected mercifully for the Free Jacks by Wilson.
And that look right there on Hodgson's face next to Mitch Wilson just said it all, I think. That exhaustion in that San Diego sun. Looking at a scoreboard that's showing you down 43 points to 5. I mean, having not much to work with. If you're Joel Hodgson and you're playing fly half, this has just been a long day at the office for you, not being able to do much of anything.
Billy Meeks takes a horse's stride. California still trying to pour it on here late. You see the effort out of this group. Almost another chance for the big fella, Declan Laney, to find another try.
And you hear the boos. I mean, look, you got to boo when the front row forward finds himself with 30 meters of grass in front of him, and you call it back for a forward pass. I mean, that's like highlight reel stuff. That's what they live for. When you play in the front row and your job is to stick your head in that scrum every single moment of the game, and then all of a sudden the ball just miraculously lands up in your hands and you're running with so much space in front of you and you get called back. Oh man, that's gut wrenching. That's
just
the worst.
Let
him run. Just let him go.
When the big boys score in football, you call it a thick 6. At least I do. I don't know if you can call it a thick 5. We got to figure out something that rhymes better than that for the big fellas.
No, fine.
Nice pass on the outside. New England, not without trying here for the effort. Played back for Latu. And intercepted along the way by Joey Mano. Into the injury time we go. The hay is in the barn. California will get their first win of the season. 43-5, unless you get an extra layer on top of this thing.
That's full time, Jess.
Mike Lawrenson indicating that's full time. It's a home win for California Legion. They take down the Free Jacks. And for the first time in the 2025 season, the Supporters Cup, the old mate trades hands in favor of California. And what a way to do it. In style, Mike Petrie.
Style is right. I mean, looking good in red. They are just firing on all cylinders, red hot as their red jerseys. A scoreline like that, I don't think anyone saw that coming. But wow. Outstanding performance from California through and through. And a lot of work to do for the New England Free Jacks to defend their title throughout the rest of the season. But Joey, this is only the second week of play. There's a lot of rugby in this league ahead of us, and don't ever count out the New England Free Jacks.
No doubt. They lost the first 3 matches of the season last year. Different circumstances. I think that team was pretty together, but they didn't have that cohesion. This team is very new, so it might take a little bit of that maturation period. Who knows how long that'll last to really get